Now that we're in 2025, it's the perfect time to revisit some of the most memorable games that defined single-player experiences. These titles marked an era with their captivating stories, vast worlds, and unique gameplay, and they remain must-play experiences. Whether to relive unforgettable moments or experience something you missed, these games still have plenty to offer. This video isn't just about reminiscing. I've also included some newer games that deserve your attention. While we wait for major releases, this is the perfect time to revisit some epic games that have impacted the lives of thousands of gamers. I'm Jax, and if you're new here, welcome to the Play Hunters channel, where I bring you daily content so you never miss a detail about the gaming universe. And if you could subscribe to help me grow, I'd be really happy. From one gamer to another. I hope you enjoy the video, and let's get started. Opening the list, we have a game that turns chaos into a true spectacle of action. In a vast archipelago full of secrets, every chase, explosion, and acrobatic move becomes a show in itself. Just Cause 2 takes freedom of movement to the next level, allowing absurd feats with a versatile grappling hook and a parachute always ready to extend the adrenaline. The combination of frantic combat and limitless exploration creates unforgettable moments. From tying enemies to high-speed vehicles to jumping out of a plane with no landing plan, everything becomes an opportunity to try new forms of destruction. The variety of vehicles, weapons, and environments transforms each mission into a new playground, with no rules beyond the player's creativity. Whether surfing on moving cars, shooting enemies from helicopters, or improvising insane stunts in the middle of a shootout, the fun never slows down. Between explosive attacks and cinematic chases, the challenge is clear. Cause as much chaos as possible and dominate this limitless island. Moving on, we have a game that brings back the essence of classic first-person shooters, but with a compelling story. Wolfenstein The New Order throws you into a dystopian reality where World War II had a different outcome. And now the world is under the control of a brutal, technologically advanced force. It's up to you, along with a resistance group, to turn the tide and take down this threat. There's no time to breathe. Each mission throws you straight into the crossfire. Whether storming enemy fortresses, sabotaging secret installations, or facing giant war machines. The action is intense, and the combat has that satisfying weight, where every shot, explosion, and confrontation with super soldiers makes it even more electrifying. In addition to the chaos and frantic battles, the story hooks you from start to finish. The alternate world created in this game is rich, full of impactful moments and characters that make everything feel more real. Amid all the gunfire, there's still room for a well-crafted story, proving that a good FPS can go beyond just shooting anything that moves. In third place, we have a game that turned acrobatics and time manipulation into a unique experience in action-adventure games. The remake of Prince of Persia, The Sands of Time, brings a timeless classic back to life, with graphical improvements that breathe new life into a journey full of mystery and danger. The original game is still amazing, but revisiting this story with refreshed visuals makes everything even more immersive. The plot follows a young prince who, with the help of a magical dagger, accidentally unleashes a terrible curse upon the kingdom. With the power to control time, he must fix his mistake before it's too late. The story is full of twists and memorable moments, bringing an epic tale atmosphere where each new discovery intensifies the sense of urgency and desperation. Fluid movement, acrobatic combat, and clever puzzles make this adventure something special. Running on walls, dodging deadly traps, and using time to your advantage create dynamic challenges that require both skill and strategy. Plus, the impressive environments transport you to a magical world where every palace corridor hides a secret. In fourth place, we have a game that plunges you into a dark world, full of hidden dangers and forgotten mysteries. Salt and Sanctuary places a stranded soul on a cursed island, where every shadow could hide an enemy, and every ruin echoes with the sounds of ancient battles. The dense and melancholic atmosphere sets the perfect tone for a solitary journey in a place overtaken by chaos and decay. The combat is fast, brutal, and demands precision. Dodging, parrying attacks, and choosing the right moment to counterattack makes all the difference, as each enemy can be lethal if underestimated. The progression system allows you to shape skills, weapons, and magic to face the terrors scattered across the island, making each advancement a hard-earned victory. The constant feeling of vulnerability is ever present, but victory always brings that much-needed relief and satisfaction. Exploring every corner of this forgotten land reveals dark secrets and treacherous passages. Ruined cities, desecrated temples, and dungeons full of horrors await those brave enough to venture. The subtle narrative unfolds in the details of the scenery and fragments of history scattered throughout the world, leaving you with the sense of uncovering something ancient and forbidden. Every new challenge is a test of endurance and patience, but overcoming the dangers makes it all worth it. In fifth place, we have a game that turns every choice into part of a legend. Moon Hunters is an RPG that breaks the mold, where each new journey shapes the mythology of the world and defines how characters will be remembered. The quest for the Moon Goddess leads to mysterious encounters, unpredictable challenges, and moments that influence the entire narrative. Each playthrough is unique, with constantly changing events, creating a living universe full of secrets. The combat blends action and strategy, with 6 playable classes that offer distinct abilities to face the world's dangers. Mages channel ancient forces, warriors battle enemies with brutal attacks, and explorers use agility to overcome any obstacle. As the adventure progresses, new abilities are unlocked, and the character's personality develops according to their choices, even influencing how others will react to them. The setting carries a mystical tone, with vibrant cities, enchanted forests, and forgotten ruins that hide untold stories. The game encourages experimentation, as each path can lead to different endings and unexpected revelations. Nothing happens by chance, and even the smallest decisions leave a lasting impact on the legend being written. And you can play it both solo and with up to 4 friends, which makes the gameplay even more interesting. In 6th place, we have a game that turns the fight for survival into an intense and emotional journey. Days Gone takes place in a brutal open world, where civilization has collapsed after a devastating pandemic. Playing as a bounty hunter, you must traverse desolate landscapes, face constant threats, and find a reason to keep going in the midst of chaos. The environment is one of the game's greatest highlights. Dense forests, forgotten roads, and small destroyed towns create an immersive atmosphere where danger can strike at any moment. Enemies range from hostile groups to massive hordes of bloodthirsty creatures that move unpredictably and can turn a simple crossing into a desperate escape. To survive, it's essential to explore, craft resources, and keep your bike ready for the next journey. In addition to brutal combat and constant tension, the story delves into themes of loss, redemption, and hope. The relationship with other survivors, the secrets of the past, and the choices made along the way make the journey even more personal. In a world that seems to have no room for feelings, the real battle isn't just against enemies, but against the despair of an uncertain future. In 7th place, we have a game that turns the claustrophobic tunnels of Moscow's metro into a battleground for humanity's survival. Metro, Last Light is set in a devastated world where the last survivors fight against threats that go far beyond the mutants roaming the radioactive surface. The war between human factions intensifies as they vie for power capable of shaping the future, making every step uncertain and every decision full of consequences. The oppressive atmosphere keeps the tension high throughout. Light and shadows dictate the rules of combat, where sneaking through the darkness may be the only way to avoid direct confrontation. Makeshift weaponry amplifies the sense of scarcity, making each bullet count. The survival mechanics, such as managing helmet filters and keeping your lantern charged, deepen the immersion, constantly reminding you that danger lurks around every corner. Beyond the strategic gameplay, the story dives into moral dilemmas and tough choices. The conflict between hope and despair is reflected in the characters and events that shape the fate of this dark world. Exploring abandoned stations, deciphering the secrets buried in the tunnels, and facing the unknown become more than just a challenge. It's an intense journey amidst the collapse of civilization. In 8th place, we have one of the most immersive RPGs ever made, placing chaos and survival at the heart of a post-apocalyptic world. Fallout New Vegas turns the Mojave Desert into a true battleground for opportunities and betrayals. After being left to die in the middle of nowhere, a journey of revenge and power begins, opening up space for strategic alliances, unexpected twists, and absurd freedom to shape your own path. The setting is one of the game's major highlights. Between decaying cities, isolated outposts, and iconic Las Vegas, each location holds stories, challenges, and characters with their own agendas. The reputation system adds layers to the choices made throughout the game, making each alliance a calculated risk. Whether solving problems through conversation or gunfire depends entirely on the approach you choose. The combat maintains the classic system of the series, allowing you to plan precise attacks, but now with more weapons, upgrades, and an extra touch of brutality. The variety of equipment and strategies makes every confrontation unique, and exploring the desert always reveals unexpected secrets. Between treacherous negotiations and explosive battles, every decision impacts the unfolding war, making it impossible to predict how the story will truly end. In 9th place, the grandeur and chaos of 1980s Japan come to life spectacularly. Yakuza 0 dives into the criminal underworld with an intense narrative, brutal combat, and absurdly fun moments. At the heart of the story are two iconic characters, each trying to survive amidst betrayals, conspiracies, and power struggles that dominate the streets of Tokyo and Osaka. The fights are a spectacle in themselves. With different fighting styles, each confrontation becomes a true cinematic brawl where everything around you can turn into a weapon, from bicycles to street signs. The combat mechanics are fluid and satisfying, giving that impactful feel with each hit. But the city is not just about fighting, as there's an entire world of activities to explore, from classic arcades to karaoke sessions and cabaret contests. What truly makes this experience unique are the side stories scattered throughout the map. One moment, you may need to solve a scam involving a public phone, and the next, help a street performer finish their act without interruptions. The contrast between the heavy drama of the main plot and the absurd, everyday situations creates the perfect balance, making it impossible to get bored in this vibrant and unpredictable world. In 10th place, we have a story where darkness dominates every street, alley, and abandoned cathedral. Bloodborne takes place in a cursed city where a mysterious disease has transformed its inhabitants into deranged creatures. The nightmare atmosphere is everywhere, and the only way out is to move through the shadows, facing indescribable horrors while searching for answers buried in the madness. The combat is fast, brutal, and demands aggression. Dodging and countering at the right moment can mean the difference between life and death, and each weapon has its own weight, cadence, and strategy. The battles are intense and unpredictable, with enemies that show no mercy and bosses that seem to have stepped out of the worst nightmares. Exploring the narrow corridors, deserted plazas, and ruined churches creates a constant tension, as if something is always watching. The Gothic setting and fragmented narrative build a mystery that slowly unravels. The more you uncover about what happened there, the more disturbing the truth becomes. Every detail of the environment tells part of the story, encouraging the search for clues hidden in the darkest corners of the city. The sense of always being on the edge of madness makes every small victory rewarding, making it impossible to abandon the journey before uncovering all of its secrets. In 11th place, we have an adventure where the hidden past of ancient civilizations intertwines with a journey of sacrifice and redemption. Shadow of the Tomb Raider takes place amidst forgotten ruins and treacherous jungles, where an ancient prophecy threatens to destroy everything. The quest for answers leads to a hidden city filled with secrets, while the battle against a relentless organization intensifies, making every decision even more dangerous. Between sunken temples and forgotten tombs, the mission becomes a race against time. While deadly puzzles guard powerful relics, an impending disaster looms, putting innocent lives at risk. Exploring this world is not just a matter of curiosity, but a necessity to prevent a forbidden power from falling into the wrong hands. The balance between action and exploration keeps the pace intense, making each discovery bring new revelations about the fate awaiting at the end of this journey. The jungle becomes a living challenge, where every shadow may hide danger. Moving undetected, using the environment to your advantage, and facing ruthless enemies becomes essential for survival. Danger lurks everywhere, whether in the depths of submerged caves, treacherous passages, or battles against those willing to do anything to control secrets that should never be found. In 12th place, we have a game where terror and madness mix in an endless nightmare. Dead Space 2 takes place on a massive space station orbiting Saturn, a place that should be safe but is now overrun by grotesque creatures that spread like a plague. With no memory of how it all began, the only certainty is that surviving won't be easy, and escaping this hell seems increasingly impossible. The suffocating and dark environment turns every corridor into a deadly trap. Echoes of distant screams, flickering lights, and blood-stained walls make it clear that something terrible happened there. Deformed creatures lurk in the darkness, attacking unpredictably and forcing every step to be taken with caution. Makeshift weapons are not just for eliminating threats, but for dismembering them, as the only way to stop these horrors is to destroy them completely. Beyond the physical danger, the mind also becomes an enemy. Disturbing visions confuse reality, creating a growing sense of paranoia. The past returns in distorted fragments, bringing with it an unbearable weight. With each new discovery, the truth about what happened on the station becomes more terrifying, and the line between sanity and madness grows increasingly thin. In 13th place, we have a story where exploration, mystery, and danger intertwine in an epic journey. Uncharted. The Nathan Drake collection brings together 3 great adventures in a single experience, taking you to exotic places, lost ruins, and secrets buried for centuries. The search for legendary treasures is not just about riches, but about unraveling the mysteries that history tried to hide. Each journey brings unique challenges, from trap-filled temples to intense chases through stunning landscapes. The balance between action and exploration keeps the pace dynamic, with clever puzzles and adrenaline-filled combat. Danger is everywhere, with enemies determined to keep the secrets of the past hidden, making each discovery a race against time. Beyond the grandeur of the environments and the intensity of the challenges, what truly makes this journey memorable are the bonds formed along the way. Conflicts, alliances, and moments of overcoming make each step forward feel heavier than just finding a lost artifact. Between gunfights, impossible climbs, and unexpected twists, this trilogy solidifies itself as one of the greatest adventure stories ever told in games. In 14th place, we have a journey where war, magic, and destiny intertwine in a vast and brutal world. The Witcher 3 takes place in a continent ravaged by conflicts and haunted by supernatural creatures, where every decision can change the course of events. The search for a legendary figure, whose power can define the future, leads to decaying kingdoms, dark forests, and cities full of intrigue, where nothing is as it seems. Exploring this world means diving into complex stories where alliances are fragile and the line between heroes and villains fades. Every city hides secrets. Every road could lead to unexpected encounters, and every mission goes beyond the simple act of hunting monsters. Combat is intense, requiring preparation and strategy, as enemies range from wild beasts to creatures from ancient myths, each requiring a different approach to be defeated. Beyond fighting beasts and human enemies, there's also a constant moral battle. Not every choice has an ideal solution, and the consequences of each decision echo throughout the journey. Between epic battles, political conspiracies, and ancient mysteries, this adventure becomes more than just a quest for a goal. It's the building of a legend that will be told for generations. In 15th place, the conflict between gods and warriors unfolds in a world overtaken by corruption and darkness. Lords of the Fallen takes place in a land devastated by a tyrant long defeated, who threatens to return, bringing with him legions of indescribable horrors. The only hope lies in those who dare challenge the impossible, exploring dark fortresses and forgotten ruins in search of a way to prevent evil from triumphing once again. Each battle is a test of patience and skill, requiring precision to attack, defend, and counter at the right moment. The enemies are relentless, and each confrontation could be the last if the strategy fails. The warrior's evolution depends on how they adapt to the threats, balancing strength, speed, and magic to overcome opponents that grow more brutal with every step. The journey is filled with mysteries, with hidden temples and secrets buried in the ruins of the past. Choosing which paths to take and which challenges to face shapes not only the story, but also the very destiny. Danger is always lurking, but for those who persist, the reward is more than just victory. It's the chance to write a new chapter in the history of this doomed world. In 16th place, we have a story where the end of an era pits outlaws against a world that no longer has a place for them. Red Dead Redemption 2 takes place in the heart of the United States, during a time where each city grows under the shadow of civilization, while vast plains and wild mountains still hide dangers and opportunities. For a group of fugitives, each day is a struggle to escape justice, maintain alliances, and survive an inevitable fate. Life on the road is full of challenges. Heists, chases, and confrontations with bounty hunters test loyalty and courage, while the cities offer both refuge and betrayal. Decisions shape the path, and each choice affects not only the future of the group, but also the morality of those traveling through this lawless world. The frontier is no longer what it once was, and finding a place in this new scenario requires more than just skill with weapons. The journey goes beyond crime and escape. Bonds are formed and broken, and internal conflicts threaten to destroy those who still resist the relentless advance of progress. Between vast fields, treacherous swamps, and snow-covered mountains, the search for freedom becomes a race against time, where the true enemy is not only the law but also the choices made along the way. In 17th place, we have a plot where power and responsibility collide, shaping the fate of a world on the brink of destruction. Infamous 2 takes place in a city overtaken by chaos, where the rise of an unstoppable threat forces difficult choices and actions that could define the future. As unimaginable forces close in, every decision affects not only the path ahead, but also the true meaning of being a hero, or something entirely different. The city pulses with energy, reacting to every action. New abilities expand combat and exploration possibilities, allowing you to slide on power lines, unleash devastating electrical storms, and face enemies with destructive attacks. But power alone isn't enough, and alliances can make all the difference. Whether you choose a path of altruism or give in to fury and chaos changes everything around you, influencing how the world responds to every move. The conflicts are not limited to physical enemies. The battle between instinct and morality intensifies as the threat grows, requiring decisions that resonate beyond the present. The city is not just a backdrop, but a reflection of the choices made throughout the journey. In the end, saving or condemning everything around you is not just a matter of strength, but of who you choose to be when everything is about to collapse. In 18th place, we enter a frozen world that holds secrets challenging even the gods. Pray for the Gods takes place in a forgotten land, where an eternal winter has taken hold and no soul has returned to tell what happened. Sent to this inhospitable territory with little more than sheer determination, the only way forward is to face colossal creatures and unravel the mystery that keeps this curse alive. Climbing these giants is not just a physical challenge, but a test of patience and strategy. Each battle requires finding weak spots, enduring the cold, and fighting against forces that try to stop any progress. The environment offers no respite. Snowstorms, treacherous caves, and an unforgiving climate turn the journey into a constant fight for survival. Hunting, lighting fires, and gathering the right resources are just as essential as defeating the titans guarding this land. The freedom of choice makes every moment unique. Exploring ruins buried under ice, following nearly fated tracks in the snow, and facing enemies in any desired order shape the destiny with each decision. Between hidden secrets and shadows of a forgotten past, the truth about this devastated world waits to be discovered, if the cold and the colossi allow it. In 19th place, we dive into a dark mystery unfolding in an isolated town where reality and fiction mix in a terrifying way. Alan Wake takes place in Bright Falls, a place overwhelmed by an oppressive darkness that turns nightmares into something real. As the search for answers progresses, inexplicable events begin to occur, and pages of a forgotten story reveal that much more is at stake than anyone imagined. The atmosphere is thick, filled with tension and danger with every step. Combat requires the strategic use of light to push back threats emerging from the shadows, creating a unique rhythm between action and suspense. Lanterns and floodlights become as vital as weapons, while the town itself seems to conspire to keep its secrets buried. The gripping narrative, presented like a TV series, keeps the mystery alive, bringing unexpected twists and moments that defy logic. Between frantic chases, disturbing hallucinations, and puzzles that challenge sanity, the journey becomes a battle against the unknown. The line between truth and illusion slowly dissolves, forcing you to confront not only the hidden dangers in the darkness, but also your own fears. Continuing, we have a game that combines intense action with an engaging narrative where every move is part of a spectacle. In a city consumed by violence and corruption, you start your journey as a simple taxi driver who, after an unexpected encounter, finds himself drawn into the Mafia's underworld. This rise and fall story is marked by betrayals and alliances that define the fate of everyone involved. With an impressive recreation of the 1930s, the city comes to life with its vibrant streets and historical details that make the environment pulse with authenticity. The gameplay is fluid and exciting, allowing you to explore every corner of the metropolis while infiltrating organized crime operations, making crucial decisions, and facing dangers that challenge your morality. Between cinematic scenes and intense confrontations, the plot is more than just a rise in crime. It's a test of loyalty and survival. In each mission, choices matter, and consequences arise swiftly. This isn't just an action game, but a true journey into the heart of crime, where chaos is the only constant. Let me know which of these games you've had a chance to play. Did any of them spark your curiosity? And would you add them to your list of upcoming games? We'd love to know which one caught your attention. Feel free to share in the comments any game you think should have been on the list, but was left out. And if you could, please subscribe to help me grow and never be in doubt about what to play again. I've left 2 videos in the card, one I selected for you, and the other YouTube picked itself. Just click on either to watch. A big hug, enjoy your game, and see you tomorrow.